This is your glutes and core workout. Each exercise will be done for 5 rounds, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. First exercise is a dying bug, so you'll start on your back, legs and arms up. Pressing your back into the floor, you'll start extending one arm and the opposite leg. Your entire focus here is keeping resistance between the floor and the back. Your rib cage should stay down towards your pelvis and the pelvis slightly rolled up towards your rib cage. You want to reach with the arm and the leg versus just extending it down toward the floor. Take your time, returning everything to starting position each time. You get a quick 15-second break here, so just pull the knees in for a little hug, take in some deep breaths, focus on pressing that back down into the floor, and we'll get started once again. Get ready for your third round of dying bugs. Remember, you want to press your entire back into the floor. So if you're feeling some fatigue, just gauge how low you're dropping your leg and your arm. So you always want to reach, keeping the rib cage down. But if you're starting to feel that fatigue, don't let it come down too far. You can keep them at an angle. So only dropping your limbs as low as your back will allow you. Getting ready for your fourth set of dying bugs. This time, my cat Kelly is going to accompany us. On to our final set of dying bugs. Next up are Frogger bridges. So you're going to keep your back on the floor, but you'll bring the soles of your feet together, splaying out the knees and working on a pelvic tilt, lifting the hips off the floor. Make sure to keep the knees splayed out nice and far. They might have a tendency to want to come in toward each other. You want to keep the pelvis tilted up and really focus on using just the glutes without arching your back. So you'll want to keep your core engaged. And sometimes it helps to keep the hands on the glutes so you can feel what's working. Your range of motion will be a little bit limited here because of your positioning. So really focusing on just using the glutes. Again, pull in the knees for a nice little hug. Give yourself a little bit of a break. We're going to get ready to go into round 2 of Froggers. Nicely done, giving yourself a little bit of a hug. We're moving on to round 3. At this point, you may be feeling some fatigue, so you can either slow your pace, so coming all the way down and then pushing up, or you can just slow down that pulse, keeping the hips off the floor the whole time, but still making sure that the pelvis is tilted up and the knees are splayed out as much as possible. Moving on to round 4. This is when it really starts getting tough, so give yourself a little hug. We're going to get ready for our final round of Frogger bridges. Nicely done. I wish I could say it gets easier, but the hover plank is next, and this one is going to really challenge you. In a solid plank position, making sure that your shoulders are really strong, elbows are directly under the shoulders. You're going to swing one leg at a time out and then bring it back and alternate, making sure to keep the toes hovering over the floor as you're swinging. The key here is to not shift the hips too much, and you want to keep that nice low plank. As we get tired, we'll tend to kind of push off with the shoulders, hiking up the hips a little bit. So making sure to keep the core challenged, and if you're anything like me, you're going to feel this a lot in your shoulders as well. That's 1 down, 4 to go. So disengage completely and lie on the floor. You'll want to give yourself a nice solid break here. We're going to come right back up for round 2 of hover plank. Two down, 3 to go. Give yourself a nice solid break here. We're going to come right back up. This is when it starts to get really tough. So if you need to modify it all, you can either stop hovering the legs and just hold a traditional plank, or even come to the knees for a modified plank. But I encourage you to not give in. You have everything you need to see this through. Just keep the shoulders strong, pushing that floor away the whole time, and that core stays nice and engaged. All right, you got 3 down, 2 to go. You got to dig deep and get what you need to see these through. All right, this is it. You got one final set, 45 seconds of your hover plank. Let's do this. You made it through, and now we're going to go through 5 rounds of classic bridges. Lie on your back with your legs bent, feet on the floor about hip width apart. We're going to do a pelvic tilt and bridge up and down. You can choose to keep it elevated, pulsing into the bridge, or you can choose to come all the way down and back up. If you do come all the way down, you want to make sure you keep that pelvic tilt and then lifting through the glutes, making sure not to arch the back, keeping that core nice and engaged, and the knees should stay in line with the hips. Watch out for them caving in. Pulling in the knees for a quick hug, giving your body a rest, and getting ready for round 2. That's 2 down, we've got 3 to go. Check in with your form here. Make sure your pelvis is tilted up. You're driving your entire foot into the floor, lifting the hips through the glutes, keeping that spine nice and neutral. You'll start to feel a little bit of fatigue, so you can alter your range of motion or your pace, but try not to give in. That's 3 down, we've got 2 to go. One final round to go. This is where you really want to focus on form, making sure that everything is engaged properly. We're now moving on to an alternating leg lower. So laying on your back, pressing the spine into the floor, you're going to start with your legs elevated. If you feel up to it, you can keep the hands behind your head, elbows out nice and wide, and you're going to keep the chin lifted as if there was a fist between your chin and your chest, so lifting up toward the ceiling, and then lowering one leg at a time, almost like a swim, keeping the back pressed into the floor. This is more of an advanced movement. You can also bring the hands down by your hips and lay down nice and flat. One round down, we have 4 to go. I'm going to opt to keep my arms extended. I'm just going to nudge them right under my hips, sort of cradling my hips right over my hands for a little extra lumbar support. With the hands down by your hips, you still want to focus on pressing that spine into the floor. And you want to make sure that you're lowering and lifting your leg at a nice steady rhythm. So you don't want to move so fast that you lose control of your torso position. You can also bring both feet up and drop one at a time if the scissoring feels like it's too much. That's 2 down, we've got 3 to go. That's 3 rounds down, we've got 2 to go. As your fatigue is setting in, you want to make sure that your form is on point. You can gauge how low you're lowering your legs and keep it a little more shallow if you need to. Just make sure that that spine is pressing into the floor and that your core stays active. We're now on to our final set of alternating leg lowers. Moving on to a sit through with a bridge, you're going to get in a bear position, so hands and knees, and you're just going to hover the knees barely off of the floor. You're going to thread the leg through and bridge at the top, return to the bear position, and switch sides. Every time you're pushing that floor away with the glutes and the arm, making sure to keep that core nice and active. You want a nice full extension with the leg and then a big push off the floor for your glutes. That's one round down. We've got 4 to go. Make sure to take a second in between reps to nail that bear position. There is no rush to go from one side to the other. So you're recorrecting your starting point every single time, and then you'll extend and bridge. That's 2 down. We've got 3 to go. Just make sure to take your time and reach the end point for every single rep. That's 3 down. We've got 2 to go. Make sure to give yourself a second here and grab a towel if you need it. That's 4 down. We have 1 round to go. It's the final round, so you got to dig deep and really focus on your form. Take your time, nailing every part of this movement. Don't go fast, go strong. Moving on to the next exercise, we're doing a seated anti-rotation. You're going to have your legs bent, heels on the floor, and you're going to lean back with a nice tall spine. Core is engaged. Extending the arms out in front of you, you're going to move them rapidly from one side of your knees to the other side. We are avoiding a full rotation. You are not reaching for the hip, you're not reaching for the floor. Always reaching out from one side of the knees to the other, giving some turbulence to your core so that it's working hard to not let it rotate. That's one down. We've got 4 more rounds to go, making sure to keep that navel pressed to the spine and that spine nice and straight. That's 2 down. We've got 3 to go. If you want to give your hip flexors a little bit of a stretch, just bring the feet together and lean forward. That's 3 down. We've got 2 more to go. Making sure to keep that navel pressed to the spine, only leaning back as far as you can control with your core. That's 4 down. We have 1 more set to go. You got 45 seconds. If you want a little more of a challenge, you can always elevate the feet. We're moving on to our final exercise, which is a quadruped hip extension, starting on your hands and knees. You'll extend one leg to the side, lifting it up and rolling it to the back for a nice long extension behind you, tucking the knee back down and then alternating sides. As you lift the leg to the side, you want to keep the toes facing forward and the leg stays nice and long. And then you're going to use your glutes and your hips to move it out behind you like a windshield wiper and then tuck it in. You want to keep the shoulders strong, trying not to bend the elbows and giving in to any lack of range of motion. Just work with what you've got. One down, we've got 4 to go, making sure to keep your quadruped position nice and strong. It's easy to get caught up in cheating this movement, so you want to make sure that you extend that leg out to the side fully, and then raising it only as far as your glutes will take it. You don't want to torque the body or cheat that movement. Send the leg around behind you, tuck in the knee, and then switch sides, making sure that your shoulders are strong the whole time. That's 2 down. We've got 3 to go. You've got this. Three down, we've got 2 more rounds to go. I know you're tired here, so check in with your form. Keep those shoulders strong, using just your glutes and your hips to extend that leg behind you, keeping those legs nice and active. You have 1 final round to go, which will complete your workout, so stay strong and focused on your form. You made it. Your workout is complete, so let's now take a seat and get into a 90-90 stretch for the hips.